Happy Thursday, everybody. Does everyone... Did you say Friday?
Pre-Friday.
Almost Friday. We're not there yet.
Sarah got excited.
I was like, wait, what is the day wrong? Is it Friday?
What time zone are we in?
A lot of people walk around with their phones attached at the hip. But this morning, we've been talking about, should you have your personal phone at work?
Yeah, you need it.
It's my personal phone.
Yes. Remember when car phones looked like this? And they were just like...
Oh, that was the bag phone. They were great.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yes, they were fantastic.
I remember my mom had one. All right, a new study says you should keep using your personal phone at the office. Research has found that letting employees use their personal smartphones at work does not impact performance. In fact, researchers in Melbourne say it actually reduces stress. Being able to check in with the outside world throughout the day led to higher job satisfaction overall. So we've been asking people all morning long, should people be able to use their personal phones at work? A lot of people have been chiming in today. Some people for, some against. One person saying if 10 million workers spend 5 minutes on their personal phones, it equals to
check the math.
95 years of lost productivity.
Yeah.
Is that a boss sending that in?
Check a math on
That's a boss
That's a
that doesn't
CEO.
allow cell phones
But I
in
mean,
the
it
office.
was a mixed bag. I think everyone is pretty split on this. Like, even when I was counting up the responses, it almost seemed like it was half and half. And I do think one person did bring up a really interesting point. It depends on what your job is.
Totally.
Because
Not
if
a
you're sitting-
surgeon.
Exactly. Like a surgeon, hospital, anything that
Hello.
really requires you to be moving like that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a lot different than, us who are sitting behind like a computer for the vast majority of the day. That's where I think I would see that productivity stat kind of make a little bit more sense, at least to me.
Ben made a good point today, though. He said if your boss expects to be able to get a hold of you outside of work hours, like if they text you or call you, then he said, Ben, you should be allowed to have your phone during work hours. But I agree, right?
No, I totally agree, yeah.
It does go both ways.
It's a two-way street right there.
Yeah, and it depends on what your job is. Like for us, we're expected to post on social media. That's a part of our job.
You
to
need
be
it for
active
Insta.
on. You need it that way as
I didn't
well.
mean to roll my eyes that hard. It just kind of happened. But yes, very much depends on what your job is. So I want to see what people think online about this.
So Melissa's saying my personal and work phone is the same phone.
Okay, that's good.
Joy saying it was important for me to have my phone if I had a family emergency.
Of course.
Yes, and I think everyone should have it. I mean, obviously, like here, if we're having meetings and stuff,
Right.
I don't think someone should be on their phone. It's just disrespectful. Unless you're taking notes on your phone, which some people do.
That's
do
what
that
I'm
as
doing.
Well, that's what you're
Always
Are you
doing.
taking
serious?
notes.
People take notes on their phone?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
all
I
the
know.
time. Like
Larry, you haven't seen the little notes?
the
thing
notes
on the
section.
iPhone?
The notes
yeah.
tab.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never.
and you
That
can
doesn't
share it
surprise
with
me,
people
actually.
too.
Yeah, whenever I get an idea, stuff like that, like randomly,
The notes,
I do
yes.
the notes tab. Like for many of our weather IQs that you've seen have started in the notes app
Yeah.
or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's different, too, because we have work phones. Because that's, I think, a huge difference.
I still take notes the old-fashioned way. Just write it
Yeah,
down.
pen and paper, baby.
I do both, but like my pen and paper, like the first time I'm writing something down, it's a lot of chicken scratch.
See-
so
And then you go back and you go, what did I write down?
Exactly. It's
No,
got
I've
to make
done
its
that.
way on
Whoa.
something electronic.
Especially you, Larry.
Pen and
Terrible,
paper is that I literally have like I think 12 notebooks that things are randomly written down. At least in the notepads, I kind of know. And if you
Where it
don't
is.
have great handwriting, sometimes you look at your notes and it's like, what does this say?
Woo.
Not
Yeah.
pinpointing anyone.
Yeah, I've taken mine to drugstores and got a prescription filled. There you go.
Yeah, I know. It's like
Thank you,
doctor's
doctor.
handwriting.
John Kelly chiming in saying, I think having availability, your phone for emergencies or weather awareness is acceptable.
Hey!
That's right.
Thank you, John Kelly.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Thanks to John Kelly. He's a regular.
He is a regular. We
Thank you.
appreciate you, John.
John, Joy, and Melissa.
Yeah.
We appreciate you every
Maybe they're the only three. We appreciate you very much.
Our 3 viewers in the morning.
Well, at least live. We at least have the 3. But no, I totally agree. Now, here's the disadvantage for our job is that most likely we're going in the studio, so mine's always on silent, so I miss things anyways.
I miss things all the time, especially when I leave work because it still is on silent from being in the studio that I'm like, oh, I never took it off and I missed all these phone calls.
Yeah, and I also let JT play with my phone or just randomly he does things.
Oh,
like
wait
that.
till he starts ordering stuff.
Well,
then you're going to regret that.
I've already paid for something on Nintendo before, and I was like, all right, well, we got a month of that.
Do you have a Nintendo?
We have a Nintendo Switch,
Yeah.
and he's discovered where it is, and then he finds it behind all the Blu-rays that
the
I
kids
have,
just
so.
got one. They're obsessed with it. Anyway, I'm getting off topic.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
We're talking about phones
Wait, who are
at
you?
work. Phones at work. Yeah, you know the other thing that I'll just be completely honest.
Larry, get off your phone.
Some people here do have work phones, but then you have to put in your personal Apple ID for them to set it up, which I think is kind of weird.
Now, I don't do that personally. I'll keep it without like the iCloud account so that it is only attached to the service that like.
Yes.
Oh, you can do that.
Or Chris, I didn't know
it
that.
makes things a little more painful, but
Or
I think it's worth
It'd
it.
be two-phone Tommy over here.
Well,
and then Samsung and Apple.
That's what I was going to say.
Mine
Your
is not
personal
right now.
phone turns everything to
Yeah.
green in the text. You're that person.
I'm green bubbles.
Does you
Yeah.
have Android? Oh,
Yeah,
my
no,
goodness.
like I in my fantasy football league for my friends back home, so it's 14 of us. I'm the only one with a Samsung
You
that
got
has
it,
a
Chris.
different color.
Yes.
Do
You love it. He
dare to
loves
be
it.
different.
He secretly loves it.
Like seriously, the amount of iPhone users there going off on this tangent. How's Samsung in business still? I feel like the iPhone
People like
users,
you.
like me. Hey,
I have a Samsung.
Hey,
personal phone.
actually, 50% of us have that.
Anders chiming in saying, I think having your phone at work is fine as long as it is not a distraction in the workplace.
That's true.
Totally. Crystal, my mom's work and personal phone is the same phone, and that's tricky.
It's very tricky.
Yeah.
Because
that
I mean,
is
I
messy.
don't. I think this job specifically too can get very into the weeds, and we
Mm-hmm.
have to keep
Oh,
track of
totally.
so many things because it's not just
Hmm.
our emails and Microsoft Teams, but then it's following all of our competitors. It's following other news outlets. I mean,
All
you
your
go to-
social media channels.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I see some of our
too much.
producers, exactly, for that to be
Way
on your
too much.
personal phone,
Yeah.
that's too much.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it should. I don't think that's fair.
Where most jobs they would say, hey, if they walk by your computer, don't be on social media or on Facebook or
Right.
us. We're expected to be posting and interacting.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
also the other thing. One of the biggest distractions of the phone is the internet. And most likely at your job, you have the internet. So some
Totally.
people don't even really need to be on their phones, except for maybe the emergency call that we're talking about.
Yeah. Anders, final note. He says, blue bubbles only, Chris.
Exactly. Yeah.
Green bubbles rise up!
Nobody.
Where my green bubbles at?
All right, keep chiming in. Let us know. Do you think personal phones should be allowed to be used in the workplace? Let us know your thoughts. And
Or just old school.
yeah,
Just
or
old
just old school.
Or two phones.
We'll see y'all
Be
tomorrow.
you.
Have a blessed day, guys.
Bye.
Oh, what was that? Sell it all!